Hi, what's up? My name is Adam, and you are on Cyber Raccoon channel. Today I keep talking about the best cartoon games. Watch the video to the end, subscribe our channel, and you will always be aware of what to play today. Plants vs. Zombies, Battle for Neighborville. Continuation of the saga about a large-scale confrontation between people, on whose side are plants and zombies. Exciting co-op raids and desperate PvP gun battles await you. Each of the unique characters in Battle for Neighborville plays a specific role on the battlefield, and a large number of customization items will allow you to create an individual image for the fighter you like. The Serious Sam series cannot be called serious, but Serious Sam 2 broke all records of frivolity. Cartoon graphics here side by side with hurricane gameplay and a scenario full of jokes, and the main character will face such monsters, the existence of which is impossible even to imagine. But most importantly, Sam is still cool and ready to deal with any danger threatening the Earth. Team Fortress 2. A multiplayer game in the genre of shooter, also, certainly, is very familiar to many gamers. In addition to interesting gameplay, a large number of different game classes, many modes and maps, the game stands out for its visual style, which has a clear bias towards animation. The biggest plus is that such a wonderful network game is now available completely free of charge. Fortnite. One of the most popular multiplayer games today, which does not need an extra introduction, also came to our top. The reason is obvious, both the game characters and their enemies have a pronounced cartoonish appearance. Additionally, Fortnite has a free Battle Royale game mode. Now anyone can download the game for free and try their hand at a mass slaughter. An anime MMORPG with building and decorating a house, having fun parties, taming pets, and saving the world, of course. This project will delight you with a beautiful cartoon picture, ample opportunities for pumping characters, and regular events with the participation of the huge NosTale community. Star Stable. Horse games are not as widely represented in the industry as some would like. Most often in games, they are used only as a transport, but there are projects where the whole gameplay revolves around these noble animals. For example, Star Stable is an MMO simulator in which you need to care for horses, raise, feed, and customize them, as well as participate in races and competitions with other players. All this is wrapped in a cute cartoon image and works on weak PCs. An adventure game from Canadians from Clay Entertainment, which takes place in an open, randomly generated world, inhabited by bizarre creatures and full of various mysteries and dangers. The main goal of the hero, which the player can choose before starting the adventure, is to hold out as long as possible in such an unusual and hostile environment, earning food for himself, collecting the necessary materials, and making various useful items and buildings. In addition to well-arranged elements of survival and roguelike Don't Starve pleases with regular updates and new content releases. The Sims 4 Life Simulator hardly needs an introduction. Here you can realize all the things that in reality is not available. Create a character and direct its virtual life. You want a peaceful family life? Then build a house and have a romantic relationship. Career comes first. Take any job and advance in positions. Looking for something new? Then at your service dozens of add-ons that add different aspects of real life to the gameplay. Farm Together. By the way, about a peaceful life. In Farm Together, you will not be distracted by the bustle of the city, because here you will create your own farm alone or with a friend in cooperative mode and start developing it. Growing crops, caring for animals, managing machinery, building, these and other activities will take up all your free time and even beyond that. The high-quality cartoon graphics, with which the routine work on the farm becomes much more exciting, does not allow you to break away from Farm Together. 2 Point Hospital is a strategic hospital simulator that cannot be taken seriously, not only because of the graphics, Something unimaginable will be happening within the walls of your institution, so you have to treat strange and absurd diseases, malignant enlightened, cubism, and unreliable staff can wreak havoc, thus getting rid of boredom. However, you will still try to fulfill the Hippocratic Oath, equipping offices, diagnosing diseases, inventing new methods of treatment, and improving the skills of wards of idiots. Grounded. In the survival simulator, your main enemies will be harmless ants, nasty spiders, and other representatives of the microcosm, because here the heroes have shrunk to the size of blades of grass. Teenagers will have to adapt to new conditions and extract resources, build a shelter and break away from the pursuit of insects, or give them a fight. The cartoon game offers not only to survive, but also to go on unforgettable adventures alone or with friends in cooperative mode. Hello Neighbor. At first, Hello Neighbor was a solo horror game in which players tried to figure out which skeletons were kept in the closet by a suspicious neighbor with a gloomy look. But soon the game grew into a whole franchise, and now this universe includes the prequel Hide and Seek, revealing the backstory of the antagonist, as well as the asymmetric multiplayer Secret Neighbor, in which a group of teenagers go to the house of the same neighbor to suppress boredom, but one of the children turns out a traitor. All games are united by a gloomy cartoon picture. Bendy and the Ink Machine. A first-person horror puzzle game about the life of the cartoonist Henry, haunted by the ghosts of the past. You have to make an adventure in places so close to the protagonist and experience real horror, since his childhood was not the most rosy. The graphics perfectly convey the atmosphere of cartoons from the 30s, and the gameplay is a walkthrough with collecting items and screamers. The Little Nightmares Dilogy tells a dark tale about a girl in a yellow raincoat with the unusual name Six who is trapped on a submarine where creepy monsters have a feast. This is a puzzle platformer that takes the atmosphere and original idea on the border of fairy tale and naturalism. Both titles have won awards and tens of thousands of positive reviews on Steam. Knock Knock, the horror of the guys from the company Icepick Lodge. Projects differ surreal narrative. In Knock Knock you play as the lodger, who settled in a house in a dense forest, and one night he wakes up from strange sounds. Armed with a candle, he goes in search of the source, but it would be better if he stayed in bed. This is a great horror, which is able to frighten the intrepid gamers, and graphics in the style of cartoons does not facilitate this fate. Worms Armageddon. A classic that is familiar to almost every player, which simply could not help but be included in our selection. Worms Armageddon is one of the most successful turn-based strategy games in which funny worms, in an attempt to destroy each other, destroy cleverly drawn locations using dozens of weapons of unheard of power. Invisible Incorporated. A tactical game from Clay Entertainment that combines elements of roguelike and stealth, the setting of which is close to cyberpunk. The player will have to take over the management of a spy agency and introduce their employees into the most closed and inaccessible megacorporations in the world. If your favorite game is not included in this list, write it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel, press like, turn on notifications, and you will always be aware of what to play today.